When Sarah Miller found the mysterious mansion in Black Hollow listed online for just $1, she thought it was a dream come true, the perfect haunted location for her YouTube channel. She was a fearless explorer who loved documenting abandoned places for her viewers. Her audience adored her bravery, but this time, something was different. The listing had no photos, just one chilling line: "The house never sleeps." Ignoring the warning, Sarah drove 6 long hours through the fog-covered countryside until the GPS signal faded and the road turned to gravel. The house stood at the end of a forgotten path, surrounded by leafless trees and a gate that creaked open as if waiting for her. The air was unnaturally still, and even the birds refused to sing. When she stepped inside, her flashlight beam cut through thick layers of dust and cobwebs. Every wall seemed to breathe, expanding slightly, then shrinking like a living thing. She began her vlog, speaking into the camera with a shaky smile. "Okay guys, this is it, the house that never sleeps. Let's find out what's inside." Her voice echoed unnaturally, as if the walls were repeating her words a second later. In one of the rooms, she found old furniture covered with white sheets and a grand piano with keys pressed down on their own, playing a slow, broken melody. She laughed nervously, thinking it was just the wind, until she realized there was no wind. As she explored further, she noticed something strange. Every clock in the house was stuck at 3:07 a.m., even though her watch showed it was noon. When she touched one clock, its hands began to move rapidly backward, and she heard whispers, faint, desperate voices calling her name. She ran into another room and saw a mirror taller than her, cracked in the middle. But the reflection didn't match her movements. When she raised her hand, her reflection smiled before she did. Her camera suddenly flickered, showing a frame of her standing behind herself. But she was alone. She whispered, "What the hell?" and backed away, tripping over a carpet corner that revealed a trap door beneath. Curiosity overpowered fear, so she opened it and climbed down into a basement that smelled like burnt wood and something metallic. Blood, maybe. The walls down there were covered in hundreds of photographs, portraits of smiling people, families, children, old men, and at the bottom of the wall, a freshly printed photo, her, sitting in her car outside the mansion. She froze. Her breathing grew fast. Behind her, she heard the slow drag of footsteps, like someone walking barefoot on the dirt floor. She turned around, but no one was there. Then her phone vibrated. A message appeared from an unknown number. "Don't turn around." She dropped her phone and screamed, spinning around, but saw only her own shadow stretching impossibly long along the wall. The whispers grew louder, almost chanting her name now. "Sarah, Sarah, stay with us." She stumbled back upstairs, but the house had changed. The hallway seemed longer, the doors endless, and her own voice echoed back at her, whispering things she hadn't said. "I missed you. I've been waiting." She tried the front door, but it was gone, replaced by solid brick. The lights dimmed, and the piano began playing again upstairs. Desperate, she ran toward the sound, hoping it might lead to a way out, but when she entered the music room, the piano stopped. A woman was sitting on the stool, her back facing Sarah, long black hair covering her shoulders. "Ma'am, are you okay?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling. The woman turned slowly. Her eyes were empty sockets, and her mouth stretched unnaturally wide. "You shouldn't have come," she whispered in a raspy voice. Sarah screamed and dropped her camera, but the lens kept recording. The woman vanished, leaving behind only a whisper. "He's awake now." The floor started shaking, lights flickering violently, and the temperature dropped so low that Sarah's breath turned white. A deep rumble echoed from below, as if the entire house had a heartbeat. She ran down the hall, pushing every door, but each opened to the same room, the one with the mirror. Her reflection was still there, but now it was grinning. Slowly, her reflection lifted a knife. Sarah's body went cold. She looked down and saw her own hand holding the same knife. The reflection whispered, "Let's switch places." The mirror shattered into thousands of pieces, and Sarah fell backward, hitting the floor hard. When she woke up, the sun was rising through broken windows. Everything seemed calm again. She thought she had survived. But when she looked at her camera screen, the recording was still running, showing her standing behind herself, smiling. Panicked, she grabbed the camera and ran outside, but the gate was gone. In its place stood a sign, "Property of Sarah Miller." Confused, she looked back at the house. It looked different now, freshly painted, the windows clean. A real estate sign appeared in the yard, "For sale, $1." The next day, a new couple stopped by to see the property. They saw Sarah standing at the door, smiling politely, saying, "Welcome to the house that never sleeps." They thought she was the realtor. Later, the husband checked online. No realtor named Sarah Miller existed. That night, the house lights flickered again. Inside, faint laughter echoed through the walls. The house was awake once more, and now Sarah wasn't leaving. She was part of it, forever.